Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode here on Talkdaily. Hopefully, you have a great day wherever you are in the world. And let's dig into this juicy, awesome story because I love this. Okay, if you don't know what this is from Honda website. I leave the link. You can actually buy this car. So what I'm trying to get to, this is an actual vehicle that Honda manufactures for you to go immediately go racing, turnkey race, go and immediately compete, and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. So again, it said HPD, ready to race Civic Type R race car. It's just fantastic. The fact you can buy this from the manufacturer, ready to go. This is basically the dream. If you don't know why I'm excited about this, it's because I spent most of my youth trying to build a race car. And it was very expensive and small parts. A long story short, there was no way you can buy a manufacturer. You can go to Honda and say, can I get a Civic Type R, please? Nope. You can go to Nissan and say, can I get a R32 ready to go? Nope, you didn't have those options. Nope, nobody. You have to build it yourself, and it was expensive. And getting the sources, whatnot. Anyway, that's ancient history. Right now, you can actually get it, and it's if you look at the price, it's not really that. It's not like, oh my god, it costs $1 million. No, it really doesn't. And when you consider how much money you're spending on your car, this is actually a good investment. And it's already pre-made. You don't have to worry about fabrication or anything. The article goes on saying the article. It goes on saying the story is, again, look, the buy now button. It's engineered by Honda Performance Development for SRO TC American Amateur Touring Car Competition. If you don't know what that is, it's basically when you go racing, you need a basically racing license. You can get it from Skip Barber School, which I went to. You can go to different schools. You don't really need to go to school, but it helps. And after that, you just fill up an application form. You tell them, how good you drive, whatnot, and what's your history of driving. Some people that I know, they went to literally like the event and they drove with an instructor, and an instructor goes, well, they know what they're doing. It's all about safety. If you're wondering what the license is all about, okay, it's all about regarding safety. You know what flags are what, when to enter the track, how to exit the track. People don't want collision, so it's just mainly safety. So it's not that hard, and of course, part of safety is braking line and the line on the track, whatnot. Anyways, it's fun. Don't take it too serious. It's a lot of fun. If you're taking it too serious, it's eventually when you start, if you become getting to that level when you're competing. But initially, it's a lot of fun. Well, I think it still is a lot of fun. Anyway, let's go. I digress. The Type R TC joined a Civic Si TCA and a Type R TCR in Honda turnkey Civic-based customer racing portfolio. New race-ready Type R available to Honda Racing line customers. It's just amazing. I love it. And that Type R, that's the one we're talking about, is $89,000. It's, I don't know, $90,000. In my opinion, that's when you consider the car and all the modification been done to it, and everything is up to spec, and Honda backs it. That's fantastic. The Type R TC is designed as a turnkey solution for professional racers and skilled Type R enthusiasts who wish to transition from track time in a stock Type R to a fully built race car. Eligible for SRO TC America Touring Car Competition. As the title depicts, it's basically a specific race event. All new Type R TC race car is available to Honda Honda Racing line members with racing license exclusively through a Honda Performance Department at manufacturer price of $89,900. The specially outfitted Type R joined a TCA class Civic Si and a TCR class Type R HDP's portfolio of Civic-based turnkey race machines. Again, it's fantastic. It just shows you one of them. So I'm just going to get to the point. There's a lot. Go ahead and read the article. It's fantastic. But the point is, you get the 2.0 liter VTEC turbo engine that's supplied by Honda manufacturer. The engine plant in Anna, Ohio, producing 270 horsepower and 330 horsepower respectively. It depends on the racing application. And yes, it's not racing. It's not full-blown horsepower. So you have to be within a specific rules regarding the racing series you're doing, and I think it's fantastic. The article goes on saying, designed specifically for TC class competition, the Civic Type R TC was developed and tested in-house by HPD engineers, Honda Police Department. Honda Performance Development is just the name they give. Anyway, Honda engineers at a modified version of production Civic Type R designed exclusively for track use, with final assembly done in Gradient Racing in Austin, Texas. Honda engineers who developed and tested the Civic Type R race car in-house, drawing experience gained from production and race vehicle engineering, including development of the Honda Civic Type R TCA race car. I think it's fantastic. So what do you get? I'm not about 89,000 one. There's one that's even more expensive. Let's just talk about the 89,000. Let's say the $90,000 one. What do you get with it? It's basically, it's a regular Civic Type R, or if you can call a Civic Type R a regular car. And, it's a white car. It's basically, they get it from Honda in Swindon, England. And then they take it and they start doing basically roll cage to it, safety. I think it's a downpipe and exhaust. So, and that's one of those people racing. So let's get to the point. What's in it? So I love this chart because this pretty much explains to you people who know how to modify cars and people who don't. And I'm using this as people who do know how to modify cars. Of course, this is Honda racing. Don't forget, this gets support. That's one of my favorite part. Honda supports it. It's crazy. Like, if you look at the Civic Type R race class, will be available for North American racing customer with racing licenses. So you need that racing license to get it. And I'll talk about the racing license in a little bit, but you need a racing license to get this vehicle. And in addition to fully outfitted race car, Honda support all of its racing customer with track side factory engineering and part support. What does that mean? That means if something goes wrong, you can contact and say, I don't know, I have this coupling that just keeps loose and keep going loose. I have this hose that keeps getting loose, or whatever. And they'll let you know, okay, they'll help you with that. I mean, to me, that is just fantastic. If you never went to the track, what's worth number one thing that happens at the track? Breakdowns. I mean, for me, although I had a crash, but anyways, usually it's something breaking down in a vehicle, and that's something you don't have to worry about here. Just focus on racing, which is fantastic. And again, it gives you exclusive technical support line that can connect racing customer directly with Honda engineers when they're not at the track, HPD engineers. So I think that's just amazing. That's amazing. So what do you get? Of course, I know companies like Porsche and they do stuff like that, but the price is way higher. Okay. So anyway, it's the Civic Si TCA. That's a $52,000, and the engine stock. And that's the Civic Type R, the TC. That's what we were talking about. 89,000 comes with what? 2.0 liter engine. Again, stock. You don't need to do anything. That's one thing that you can tell, like people who modify cars and people who are racing and just enthusiasts. Most of the time, you really want to modify your car, you really don't need to do anything to the engine. All I did to my car is cooling, bigger radiator, as much cooling as I possibly can, because racing, all it does is just heat. You try to dissipate heat as much as possible. And look, Honda does the same thing. They're like, yep, just leave it as is. It's good. Make more power, you basically make more heat. And how are you going to dissipate that? Have fun. So anyways, this is the one I was talking about. That's the Type R TCR. This is a race car, and this is a race car that is to the next level. Okay, it's basically tuned on 100 octane. It has sequential transmission and it's seam welded. Oof. So you see the engine right here, 2.0 liter, but it's calibrated and sealed by JAS Motorsport. It's kind of like blueprinted. They take everything apart, and they basically, I call it blueprinting, is when everything removed, and it's just all the calibration, everything becomes more, all the part more, I don't want to say tighter, but everything gets redone and respect. So, if something is off by a couple of millimeters, they'll adjust that. They'll adjust everything to be perfect calibration, and it makes some difference. Of course, the engine can revs a little bit more. I don't know if they can increase the red line, but at that point, the engine is capable of producing more power and sustain that power for a long duration. And anyway, so I'll just stop at that. You could, again, there's videos how people calibrate an engine. That's a different story, but that's what you get with a $170,000 car. But I would like to focus more on the $89,000 car, the $90,000 car. You get production-based ECU. And you get some tuning based on the series. Again, the stock ECU, you don't even need to do anything. That ECU is very capable. This one, you get the Motec, which is If you're familiar with Motec is, man, that thing is, it could do everything. Motec, you could reprogram your whole car. You could do everything. You could change the buttons on your car where like a button will do something else. That's how amazing Motec is. If you're not familiar with it, I encourage you to check it out. It's fantastic. But again, that's just, they do that for you with a $170,000 car. Again, the $90,000 car, they get a radiator, oil coolers, cooling duct, this intercooler. As you notice, it's all about cooling. That's all it is. Cool. Just basically better cooling. Same thing with a very expensive one. You get more cooling, ducting. That's why the ducting is for your calipers. As you notice, the engine is stock. The fuel, whatever. I mean, this one 91 octane. The other one, the race one, the $170,000 car, you get 100 octane. Yeah, okay. Exhaust. Everybody, race exhaust. Not really. Just like a downpipe and a turbo back. That's good enough. Basically, just make it breathe better, but you still have a catalytic converter. Okay, so this one gets a racing grade catalytic converter. This one retains a stock catalytic converter. The horsepower 306, this one 340. Again, because just a little bit tuning. OEM 6-speed manual transmission. They strengthens, make them stronger. Some of the gears, third and fourth gear, and you get a Cusco limited sub differential. Have a nice day. I mean, the same, the Civic Si gets a 6-speed manual transmission, high strength fourth gear, a Cusco limited sub differential, and a single mass flywheel. The very expensive one, you get the X-Track 6-speed sequential gearbox. It's fine. If you've never driven a sequential, it's fantastic. Just smashed with gears. It's just, you go up, down, down, down. That's what you gotta do. Hydraulic paddle shifter, limited sub differential with exterior adjustable preload. That's fantastic. If you don't know what that is, it's like, when you're playing Gran Turismo, you can adjust how fast it bites and when you release how much it's biting. What I mean by release the gas, when you go on throttle, off throttle, you can adjust that. That's, to me, all those adjustment, you really need like engineers with you. I mean, this takes a lot of work, and I'm pretty sure when you're at that level, you definitely have a racing team with you that can do all that. Gearbox oil cooler, because you will need it. And a GAS twin disc racing clutch, bespoke 6 kilogram flywheel. Wow. The suspension, you can see the list of suspension. The whole bottom from all of them, what you're getting is basically adjustability. If you're not familiar, the first thing you do when you're racing, as I said, safety and alignment. And I said cooling, of course, yeah. But I consider cooling part of safety, because you don't want to have, if your engine just gets overheated and catches fire, right? So you really want cooling. You want your suspension to be adjustable, and this shows you adjustability. We're talking about rear camber adjustable. I know there's a lot of English here, but basically it's just adjustable. All the arms, everything is kind of adjustable. You do have spherical ball bearings when needed. I know some people just like to put everything ball bearing everywhere, and when you're driving on the street, that's retarded. Remember, these are race cars, so you don't care about dirt getting in the ball bearing and wearing it out or noise. You don't care. You're just gonna get a new one, and everything here has a lifespan. But it's just fantastic when you see the race springs, camber plate. I love it. If you look at all the stuff that this comes with, it's just fantastic. It's ready to go from the dealership, from Honda. Production electric power steering. I'm used to hydraulic power steering, not electric. And I don't mind electric. A lot of people don't like electric. I don't have a problem with electric, because there's less things that will catch on fire in your car. And trust me when I'm saying this, I raced like older cars, my Miata, and if you have any leak in your power steering, that thing catches fire. Of course, it's, if you inspect everything, and you have to go to safety inspection prior to racing, but, I don't know. I love hydraulic power steering, but I don't mind electric, and electric is just more compact. So this one, the electric power steering with heavy duty arms. This one is just production electric power steering or OMP racing wheel. You do need this steering wheel, because if you're not familiar, the racing steering wheel has felt, I don't know what material it's made out of, but it kind of grips with your gloves. If you're wearing the same gloves, when you hold it, it's really sticky, and it helps because you're all the time I don't want to say you're fighting, but the wheels are they grip, and when you're turning, you really want to hold on to that steering wheel. So that's why they have it. OEM steering wheel. It's not saying the OEM steering wheel doesn't work. It's just a smaller one. I don't know. It just feels better. The brakes, again, the $170,000 car comes with amazing brakes, but the $90,000 car comes with Brembo for piston calipers and OEM. I'm pretty sure you get ducts. Oh yeah, here you go. ABS modulator. That's a big deal. The very expensive car comes with a Bosch Racing ABS, but the OEM one comes with Honda Performance Department ABS modulator, which is very important because if you're not familiar, when you hit on the brakes really hard, you get the vibration. Basically, ABS is working. You could adjust it when you need it. Sometimes ABS is not really good, especially if you are doing like really tight turns and you're trying to do left foot braking. It depends. Again, that's why you have it, and easily adjustable inside the car, so the driver could adjust the ABS strength or when it kicks in, or you could advance it or retard it. The body work, you get a lot of openings for air to go through and, you know, dissipate the heat, take the heat with it. You get an oil cooler, radiator, inlet ducts, vented hood, adjustable rear wing, adjustable electric side mirror, which is, that's OEM. I basically kept the OEM side mirrors. Same thing with the SI, you get high flow front grille, brake cooling, inlet ducts. The very expensive car, you get air jack system. Air jack, that's beautiful. They put the air, the car goes up and you can change the wheels instantly. It's fantastic. I love that. And just even for maintenance, it's beautiful. That's so amazing. And a very expensive car, the $170,000 car, it comes with seam welded body panel. I think that's the reason you're paying. This is ready for like major competition. I'm not saying this one is not, but it's just fantastic. But anyway, welded multi-point roll cage. That's fantastic. You need that anytime you go racing. So both of them get it. And polyurethane engine mount. You do need engine mount. Trust OEM engine mount. They kind of start vibrating too much. They're not designed for the purpose of OEM engine mounts are good, but when you're doing racing and there's a lot of going up in gears, they tend to the engine tend to shift a little bit. So having stiffer engine mount really helps you with everything else not wearing out. And again, you can see the Honda engineers of course know that, and that's what they installed. This one they don't mention it, and I'll probably imagine the engine mount will be something even more sturdy. It's beautiful. Endurance option, UV cockpit light, ultraviolet cockpit light. What? Drink system. You need that. You'd be so surprised. You need that even in this. You'd be surprised how much you sweat in the car, dude. You have no idea, dude. And then when you're doing like a rotation, when you get in the seat, you're like, ugh. No, but anyway, I think this is fantastic. If you're not aware of it, go on and read it. So much information. Okay, I just kind of went through it real quick, and it just says a couple of stuff that I think is important, but all in all, it's a fantastic option, and I can't wait for other manufacturers to offer that. I know Porsche, of course, does that. Like high-end cars do, so Ferrari and Porsche, they will give you a car, but I mean, you're paying in the millions, okay? Almost a million, whatever, you're paying a lot of money, 300,000, whatnot. This, you're not paying so much, and you're getting the support, and you're getting all the fun, and you can just go ahead and race. Again, you need a racing license. If you don't know how to get it, you can go to SCCA, they'll help you with one. You can go to Skip Barber School. There's so many options. You can Google it, and eventually you get an FIA, like, racing license. But to get the FIA, you need to do some kind of racing prior. But once you do so, you can get the car. It is there, and hey, even when you buy it, you have to race it. I don't know. Why not? Race it. Enjoy it. So, anyways, let me know what you think. You think this is awesome? And I know they have the engine too. They offer just the engine itself if you want it. I will give it to you if you're also part of the racing team. Honda has that option where they give you the Civic Type R engine ready to go, the one that's even like blueprinted. So, I think that's just fantastic. Good for Honda, and hopefully other car manufacturer will step in and they do something like that, offer something like that for us, the consumer, who are looking for a little bit more, who actually like to go to the track and, are track people who like to go racing. So it's fantastic that they have this option. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you know about this? You were familiar with it, or do you think it's great? Do you think they're going to sell a lot? I don't know. I think this is... I don't think even Honda's trying to do this to make money. I think Honda's just doing this to just expand their motorsport, segment. So good for Honda. And anyways, take care And I love this thing. So I can't stop talking about it. I love this car. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.